It's a beautiful thing.
We in 6 countries. That's
Yes.
what I mean. So that's the thing that stands out to me.
Shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody. We love y'all.
Yes. Thank y'all for listening.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the channel. I'm Coach Deb, representing one half of the Healing Corner podcast. If you're interested in booking a consultation as well as service or a reading, go ahead and check me out at debshealingcornerstone.com.
I'm Coach Yams, owner of Healing is Work Coaching, and I help millennial professional women to live on purpose unapologetically and to help them to stop doing shit out of obligation. If you need help with that, reach out to me, Coach Yams, YAMZ.com.
Greetings, everyone. Welcome to the Healing Corner podcast. I'm going to be hosting as Coach Deb. I also have my co-host, Coach Yams, here today. And we have a special guest. Ísis here with us. What I want to go ahead and give you guys a little intro on her. She is a relatable naturalist and a DUI queen. She is a mindset coach, herbalist, lover, and fighter, and one of those idealists who wants to change the world. So I do want to give her a few minutes to just introduce herself and maybe say a few things about what she does or how she got started.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Ísis, and I am the founder of Genesis Holistic Life. It's GENISIS, Holistic Life. And I do a myriad of things. I am a transformational and mindset coach, as well as a practicing herbalist. I also host retreats, and I also have a self-care line called Offset Essentials, where it's scrubs and soaps and honestly anything for your body. I can make it. I make healing oils for psoriasis and like that. And
Audio.
it's where we actually get together with other healers in the community and just kind of get together, meet up and talk and just kind of, collaborate on things that we need, as well as maybe even offer referrals to people that might need, healing specifically from a certain person. So we'll have our first meetup coming up this month, and we're really excited about it. And then we'll have some virtual options so we can kind of get people from honestly all over the world together. So we're just building a community. So.
Okay, well, wonderful. Yams, did you have anything to say on how you actually met her?
Yes, actually. So I pitched my coaching business, Healing is Work Coaching, at a pitch event in Nashville in June and July, because there was finals in July. And while I was at the finals, a woman came by. I cannot at this moment put her name in my mind and on my tongue,
Her
but she
name's
walked by my. Go
Yeah.
ahead. Her name. What's her name again?
Anne.
Yes. Anne
Mhm.
stopped by my vendor table and was like, if there's somebody that I think that you need to meet. And I was like, okay. And she wrote down Ísis information. And because pitching and trying to get my life back together after doing something like that, I had not done it yet. And then I had an email in my box where Anne had made an introduction. And I was like, okay, here we are, we're doing this. And then Ísis reached out and told me about a harvesting event that was coming up under the full moon. And I was like, yes, ma'am, sign me up. I will be there. And the connection has been great so far. And I feel the genuineness of her spirit. And I love the work that she does. And I want to know more and be connected more and be a part of it. So, yeah.
Okay, well, I think that's amazing. I remember when you told me about it, I was excited because I was thinking this is something that we actually need in our community. So for you guys out there that's listening, if you're looking to be a part of a healing community, for sure, look into that. And then also, Ísis, so when it comes to your journey, could you discuss your personal journey when it comes to like self-love and how the holistic thing, how you started to really get you know, uh feel that you needed to do this.
Mhm. Sure. That's kind of twofold. The first part of that is how I got into it was I was working in HR. I was a hiring manager for 3 hospitals, and I noticed that people would come in and just kind of talk to me and just kind of spill everything. And so I was honestly kind of used to that. And they were always like, "I really love your advice. I just need, just a couple moments of your time." And so I was always willing and capable to kind of do that, just to kind of ease people. And so one of my friends actually was like, I'm actually just graduated from this health coaching institute locally here in Nashville. And so she was like, I think you'd be perfect for it. And I reached out to the founder of the Radiant Health Institute, named Des Stevens, and talked with her. We met up, and she was like, "Yes, I need you in this next cohort." And the rest was history. That was over 10 years ago. And I graduated from Radiant Health. Also went ahead and got my herbal certification. And so the second part of that, the self-help, self-love part, really was something I was forced into, which sounds bad, but at the same time, I had 4 kids. I had a business. I was working full time. The normal things that unfortunately people do, and that also means that I was negating myself way too much. And at that point in my life, I was just going through a lot of things. And once I finally sat down and was like, all these things that I'm giving to other people, but I'm not giving to myself. And so really I wanted to, once I kind of embraced that for myself and just kind of fell back in love with myself, I wanted to make sure to share that with other people and make sure other moms and entrepreneurs and healers remembered that they are first and foremost on any love list. Like, I feel like you have to love yourself before you can do anything else properly, because it shows when you love yourself, you have boundaries and you have, respect for yourself, and you don't let people walk all over. It adds to so many other different layers that actually can help you as a person or as an entrepreneur or as a healer. Once you kind of get that energy within yourself. So that's kind of how both of those things came around. So.
Okay, well, that's amazing. That sounds like your purpose kind of just called on you and you answered. So that is awesome. So when it comes to your expertise in the herbal remedies, what do you, I know there's a philosophy that you have introducing yourself to yourself. How does that go along with the herbal remedies?
So I've worked in the healthcare field, but not like in the healthcare field for many years. Like, I was around hospitals for a really long time, but I never got into it. And so basically, what happens is, studying the herbal remedies, I really see that people are more apt to go to a doctor than to check in with themselves. Your body talks to you all the time. Your body tells you what you need. If you just are listening to yourself, then you will be able to figure out exactly what you might need. Sometimes you're going to need extra water because you're dehydrated. You don't need to go to the doctor and get a prescription for something, that prescription then leads to having 2 more prescriptions because the side effects of that one, when sometimes your body just needs to be hydrated, or sometimes honestly your body needs a hug, or sometimes your body needs vitamins and minerals, or sometimes your body needs maybe that hormone balancing tea or something along that nature. If you really just listen to yourself, you quiet your mind, what you need is within you. So that's what the premise of the introducing you to you means. It means it helps you to find that balance within yourself again, and listen to what exactly you need, and then find it, go get it. And most of the time it's not hard to find, so that's kind of what introducing you to you means.
Nice.
I
Yeah,
I have a
I was
question.
gonna say I wanted you
Hmm.
to go ahead.
With the introduce yourself to self, I love that, first of all, because I think that even though we live in our bodies and we go through these motions, a lot of people are checked out from themselves, first of all.
They are, yeah.
And the thing that I recognize for me, because that's how I got into coaching,
Mhm.
is I went through my own life things. I was like, oh, I've got to learn to really love myself, pour back into me,
Mhm.
and recognize my worth and my value.
Mhm.
And before I did that, I was like, oh, this is so hard. The world is going to fall apart if I don't keep all these plates spinning. And once I got on the other side and was like, oh no, the world keeps going, what I realize is that people feel like it's such an impossible feat to take time to give themselves the space to listen to their bodies and to fulfill their needs. Do you have any steps or any like easy guides in place to help people with learning how to listen to themselves?
I definitely do. Some of the I'll say the easiest things, but the hardest things at the same time are starting out easily meditation, daily, because meditation is almost like clearing the cache of your mind. Okay, it's kind of disconnecting you from the chatter that's all around you and just kind of helping you focus within yourself. So that's one of the main things that honestly that is one of the main things that will really help. The second thing is deep breathing. Really, like right now, my shirt says inhale, exhale. It's one of my favorite shirts. And I do that honestly to remind myself sometimes. When you're breathing, or sometimes you're not breathing correctly, a lot of people don't even understand that you have to breathe correctly. And so basically, that's really deep breaths from your belly. And it equals so many things. So deep breaths from your belly gets you out of a fight or flight mode. Okay. Because a lot of people, their nervous system is wrecked because they're in fight or flight mode all the time. The second part of that, when you breathe correctly and your stomach is engaging and it's blowing up, and then you're pushing the air out, you're breathing it in. It also helps with your digestion and things of that nature too. And they also say that your gut is like your second brain. So guess what? If you're not breathing properly, then your second brain isn't getting the proper oxygen, and it's also not helping your body digest the food that's in there, which means it's not getting out of there, and it means that your colon, all those things are not working properly. So I think honestly, those two are the most important things. They're simple yet difficult because you have to retrain yourself how to breathe properly, as well as go through the monkey mind stage of meditation that people just like, I can't do it because my mind's just talking about all these other things. But once you really get into the proper habit of meditating and getting quiet and releasing everything around you and just silencing everything outside of yourself, that's when you really connect with yourself. So those are two of the main things that I probably think are the easiest.
And then a follow-up question I have to speak more to the meditation piece. I know that there are different versions of meditation, but can you speak to the different types of meditations that exist? Because I think it's important for people to know that there's not a right or wrong way per se to meditate, but
Mhm.
that it's more about it being a part of your practice.
Yeah, well, I don't have one specific way to meditate because I think, like you said, everybody's different, and what your needs are different, and what your surroundings are different. The only thing that I'm going to say about meditation is that find a quiet space that you can at least have quiet for, say, just 15 minutes at a time. Sometimes that might be your bathroom if you're a mom, or if you're an entrepreneur. I mean, you have to kind of make it work for you. Because like you said, everybody's different, and what you have access to might be different. But just start with a 15-minute quiet space, that you can, sit comfortably in, with your comfortable clothes on, maybe with a nice view, or even some meditation music going on, or nothing at all. It really depends on what you have access to. So, I try to make things easy for people, because once you overwhelm them with, okay, you have to have your yoga mat and your yoga clothes, and it's not that serious. What you want to do is honestly have a cup of tea or some water sitting next to you, and a nice, safe, quiet place for at least 15 minutes. And honestly, that is the basis of an easy meditation practice. So that's what I'll say.
I like how you talked about the nervous system, because that was the thing that I learned about a few years back when it came to me. I realized that my nervous system was like overly active, and it caused a lot of issues with my health a little bit. And I also like how you were talking about the meditation. I know personally for me, what I like to do is as soon as I get up, I go and try to brew my tea. That's like the first thing I try to do is, so as soon as I get up, and then I'll start doing everything else. And then your phone is a bad thing. Like, I know it's like so easy for us to get on our phones as soon as we get up, because most of the time people have their alarms on their phones and stuff like that. So it's like tempting as soon as you turn your alarm off, then you're on there scrolling. And I had to teach myself, like, don't do that. Don't go to the phone. Go and brew your tea, get your day started, and then look on the phone later on. So I like how you did emphasize about the meditation and things of that. Okay. So when it comes to pivotal point in your journey, what where was that, and what happened? What was significant that made you decide, okay, natural products and self-care practices is where I need to be at?
Um, I really think it was because I hit rock bottom as far as I had depleted my resources and had made so many promises, and my boundaries weren't strong. And I realized I couldn't go on anymore. And I had to really figure out why, because I had no clue. I didn't understand, all this pouring and not, filling were killing me. And two, how to recover and what to do next. So that's what the self care, and that's why that's just a part of my coaching. It just kind of comes with it, with the self care line, also with the products and things of that nature. My mom and my one of my daughters was very sensitive to fragrances and chemicals and things of that nature. And so I decided to just try to figure out how to make, like I say, I'm a DIY queen. I literally can make anything. And so I decided to try to figure out a way that I could get their skin to be healed, hydrated, and protected. And of course, I ran into shea butter, and I was like, oh my gosh, shea butter, that's really cool. And it took me years and years to kind of perfect um, what exactly I wanted the shea butter to be like. And then I was like the shea butter boss at that point. I was always about the shea butter. My kids, we made videos about, put some shea butter on it, because I mean, shea butter really, it does everything it's supposed.
I think we lost a little bit of audio.
Oh, can y'all hear me?
Okay, now we can.
Okay, sorry. But yeah, so I was a shea butter boss at that point, and then I made other products that kind of went into that, that were all natural essential oils that wouldn't upset the skin's balance, especially for sensitive people. And my recent discovery after many years was to make a healing oil for people with psoriasis and eczema or any kind of skin inflammation. I make pain creams and things like that, just so people can, know that there are natural products out there, and then kind of teach them a little bit about essential oils and other things that can really work well. And some things are already in your kitchen, so that's how both of those things came around.
And
Okay.
I'm curious, of the products that you have created, two questions. One, what's your favorite part about creating the different products that you come up with?
Mhm.
And then two, what's one of your favorite products that you have come up with?
um, Honestly, I just love the creation of everything. What it's like researching the things that go into it and all those kind of things just kind of add into something that's going to be just wonderful in the end. So for example, my healing oil, which I just created, it has lavender and chamomile and castor oil in it. And I love, when I put it together, I use it on myself first to make sure that it actually works. And when it does work, I don't know, that's the most exciting part of it. I'm like, okay, I did that. Okay, I love it, and then trying to tell as many people as I can about it. So I think just researching and finding the ingredients, and the herbs and the oils, and just kind of combining them. It's almost like cooking. It's like a recipe that you put together, and then the end result is something fabulous that is going to help many people. So I think that's one of my favorite things.
And then to counter that, what's one of the most challenging things about creating a product?
Um, Well, it's when the product maybe doesn't work, and then you spend a whole bunch of money on a whole bunch of different things that could go into it, and like, yeah, this is not really, exactly what I'm looking for. I don't know if this is going to be a proper thing to go with my product line. So, but I am definitely, like I said, a DIYer. So guess what? Even if I have, extra ingredients that I might not be able to use for that one product, I promise you I'll figure out something else that those ingredients will work for. So I think that's one of the hardest things.
Okay, well, I have a question. Do you do all of the work on your own? Like, is it just you, or do you have like a production where you have other people that also work with you? How does that work when it comes to your products?
Right now, I am all hands on, all hearts in. That's it's all me right now. I definitely look forward to one day kind of getting into a production line. But right now, yeah, it's all me.
I think that's important because a lot of times when we get products, and especially if they're commercialized, sometimes it takes away the touch of the healing. So I think that that's pretty cool that you're able to still be hands on with it.
Yeah, I actually love it.
And if
Okay.
somebody wanted to get their hands on your
Mhm.
hands on DIY goodness, how would they do that?
You can go to my website. It's Genesis Holistic Life, and it's GENISIS holisticlife.com. And it has a whole bunch of things on there that you can look into. And I have an Etsy shop as well, and it's called Offset Essentials. The link for that is also at my Genesis Holistic Life website. But if you want to just go straight to the goodness, you can go to Etsy, type in Offset Essentials. That's all one word, AUSETESSENTIALS. And then I have so many products on there, and I'm adding new things all the time. So, and of course, the other important thing to add is that I do make things to order. So just say you have, dry skin, or you want something like a toner or a face wash or something that you don't see on my site, I do make things to order as well. So, we cover all the bases.
And to follow up question with that, do you ship and where do you ship?
We ship everywhere, anywhere you need. We're working on international right now, so I should rephrase. We ship anywhere in the lower 48 and the upper two or Hawaii and Alaska. But we're working on actually international as well. So, if something like that comes up, we will definitely make arrangements. So,
Perfect. Thank you for sharing that. I wanted to switch gears from the products back to the self-care and the coaching side of things and ask who your typical clients are.
my typical clients are entrepreneurs. I have some healers, and just I would probably say women, mostly ages from 25 to 55. So those are my clients at the moment, but I'm open to anyone who wants to, get some, coaching. I am open to all folks. So
Okay, and then also with the coaching, are you virtual only, or do you do one-on-one? How does that look? What would it look like if someone wanted to book a coaching session with you?
I am virtual right now. I do offer some online, in person, if you're in the Nashville area. But virtually allows me to kind of expand my reach. So, but if somebody does request a one-on-one in my local area, then I'm definitely okay with doing that.
And then my follow-up question to the coaching clients that you have had, what's one of your favorite stories of success with the client that you've worked with?
Hmm. Let me think about that. I think a lot of my clients are really blown away by the self-love portion of it, because a lot of times, that might be something that's separate or something like that, but the way I incorporate it in and really make that a priority. I've had people cry. I've had people, write me letters with thanks, because like I said, their reintroduction of yourself to you, just kind of putting yourself in your own routine, like you're saying, waking up in the morning without grabbing your phone, just the processes that we use for our self-care lessons are really beneficial for people. And I've definitely had people be overwhelmed by that and kind of go on to really make great strides in their coaching life, if you will. Just introducing that self-love portion of it.
Also, with the coaching, do you have like a certain amount of time that you spend with each person, or do you kind of just go by each individual? How does that work?
Well, our coaching sessions are 45 minutes each. We do once a month or twice a month, depending on your what level you pick for your coaching. Like the VIP is twice a month, and regular coaching is just once a month. But if you need extra, then we can also always talk about that. We want to be open to what our clients' needs are, and I just want to be able to help people. And sometimes people need a little bit more. So, but ideally, when you purchase the coaching, it sessions. You have the regular, which is just once a month, and the VIP, which is twice a month.
Do you have anything else, Yams, that you would like to bring forward?
I'm looking at the time, and I don't think I have anything else to ask. I was just going to ask if there were any final thoughts that we wanted to share before parting ways.
Okay. Well, I appreciate the fact that what is impressing me is the hands-on thing, because I think that's a very important thing when it comes to healing. You know, being able to produce on your own. So as long as you're able to do that, I think that that's an amazing thing. I know eventually, especially when you get too many products that you can do on your own, you have to expand out and let others do it. But with that being said, do you think that you would have other healers working with you, or are you going to just be open to hiring anyone?
I definitely plan on hiring somebody if needed in the future. I think what will probably happen is I have 4 children, so they can definitely be employed. That way we kind of keep the hands in the business and the hearts in the business. Once we get bigger, which I'm going to be positive and say that that's going to happen, then we'll definitely have to, resource it out or source it out. But what'll happen is I have already thought this out. I have maybe like it's called a healing oil or like a miracle oil that will kind of go in everything. I want to make sure that the location that does it is going to be saged and peaceful. So all those things are still going to be taken into account once we kind of get bigger and start doing that. But right now I have 4 kids, so that's plenty of hands at this point once we kind of, ascend up. So
All right, that's awesome. I love that, especially keeping it in the family, so that allows your touch to still be in it, even going through your kids. So that's amazing. Okay. Yams, any last things before we close out?
I was going to ask our guest to share where people can find her, connect with her, book her for coaching. I know we've already talked about the products, but maybe run that back. If it's all in the same area, that's cool. But yeah, running all that back in this portion of a thing so they can just have a rundown of how to get in touch with you. And also, I want to say thank you because this has been informative and it's inspiring because it lets people know that they can do things that are helpful to other people just by doing the work of working on themselves.
beautifully said. Beautifully said. And thank you for having me. I've been so excited about this. So excited to meet you guys both. So thank you for having me. I will say, if you do want to reach out, you can actually go to Genesis holisticlife.com, GENISIS, holisticlife.com. My Etsy shop information is in there. Booking is in there. And I recently just created a teachable course So if you actually want to go and book coaching on there, you can actually go to Teachable, and it's of course Genesis Holistic Life. There's digital downloads and things like that on there that you can actually get into. And eventually down the line, I will be creating a community where everybody can kind of get together, just kind of talk. And, I'm definitely about community and getting like minds together. So, but yeah, GenesisHolisticLife.com or Teachable, Genesis Holistic Life.
Okay, well, if all minds are clear, I do want to thank you, Esses, for coming on here and giving us some valuable information and also another outlet for our listeners out there. So if you guys are interested, we will have information in the description box. And if you are new here and this is your first time hearing, if you're following us on Facebook or if you're on YouTube, make sure that you share, like, and subscribe. And until next time, we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.